if you're even a little bit cold and that deer or elk comes up over the hill, your adrenaline starts pumping, which constricts your blood vessels, and you start shivering even more. And the last thing you need is to be shaking when Hey Carnivore Hunters, this is Doug.
And this is Rick.
Hey guys, we're just wrapping up our hunting season here, 2025. And we wanted to talk to you guys about field hand and foot care. Because when you're out in the field and you've been sitting there since, an hour before first light and it's sub-zero temperatures, if you're even a little bit cold and that deer or elk comes up over the hill, your adrenaline starts pumping, which constricts your blood vessels, and you start shivering even more. And the last thing you need is to be shaking when your dream shot comes up.
Yeah, and for me, I've also found that the older I'm getting, the more sensitive my hands and feet, especially my hands, they can get painfully cold. And so we've had to learn to improvise over the years just to stay comfortable while we're out in the field.
Yeah, for sure. Now, there's a lot of things you can get if you can get the cheap little Walmart ones, and I'll tell you what, they don't do crap. Another pair that I had gotten over the years, this one has a little pouch where you can put those little disposable hand warmers, which those I highly recommend either way. It's good to have around, something to put over your hands. If you ride an ATV in, get the hand warmers installed on your ATV. Unfortunately, when you're riding, that only warms the palms and the inside of your hands, doesn't warm the outside. So that's where these actually used to come in handy for me, is I would put one of these pouches in here as I was riding back to where I needed to walk into to my spot.
And speaking of ATVs, get the heated hand grips.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Okay, yeah, you'll thank us.
So another thing that people see and you may think is a good idea, because mittens are better than gloves, right? As far as keeping your hands warm, but it's hard to pull a trigger with mittens on. So they sell these where it kind of flips open and you have the fingers there. You can still put one of those pouches in here, but I'll tell you, there just too much air gets in behind those and your hands are still going to get cold.
Yeah, and for feet, they make a similar thing as what they do for the hot hands. They make them for the feet too.
Mm-hmm.
And so for the longest time, what we were doing is we'd put a pair, we'd put a pair on top and under our toes. So we kind of had heat from both sides, which really helped a lot. The downside to these is your boot feels lumpy when you're walking on them, and it can get a little uncomfortable. You can make them comfortable. It's just trying to figure out where you want to place them on your foot.
Sorry. So really, actually what I've taken to doing, my new method, I have these gloves. They're still thin enough that I can put my finger through the trigger hole when I need to. But that's what I wear most of the time. These are from Victos. And it does have a little zipper if you have a smaller trigger guard than I do. But I try to keep those closed as much as possible. Secondly, these were actually a gift. These are electronic rechargeable hand warmers. What I do, it has 4 heat levels. I put it on like a medium heat level, and I stick them in my jacket or my vest pocket. And speaking of your pockets, because that'll keep your pockets warm, you can take your gloves off and stick your hands in there, kind of warm them up a little bit, because they'll still get cold even in those gloves. But never, ever set your gloves down on a rock or a log. If you take them off, stick them into a jacket pocket or something where the exterior will keep a little bit warmer from your body heat. And that'll help it when you put them back on. Because if you leave them sitting out on a rock for an hour pre-dawn or even after dawn, it's actually going to make it worse for you when you put them back on.
Yeah. And Zippo actually makes a version of that. If you don't want to recharge at night, you just got to put the Zippo,
the fluid, lighter fluid in it. Yeah.
I actually have a set of the Zippo ones that I've never used, so I can't give you an honest opinion on how well they work or do not work. But I think part of the reason I don't use them is I think that Zippo lighter fluid probably gives off an odor that, you know, I don't want getting out into the atmosphere.
Yep.
While I'm stalking deer or elk.
Well, and really what Rick has is probably the best option for your hands.
Yeah. So I got something for your hands and your feet here. And I'll give you the pros and cons, but I have these heated gloves. So again, you got to charge, be able to recharge them. And so it just has a zipper here, and in the zipper is a little battery pack, and that's where you turn it on and off. And then this little button up here, you can control the heat level. I can't remember how many hours they say these will give you. Typically, I wait until I really do start getting cold to turn them on. And then I wait. My comfort zone is about 35 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit. And so once the temperature starts to go up outside, then I'll turn these off to conserve the battery so I have enough for the evening hunt. And similar with your socks. And so I have 2 pairs of these, and I have another pair. This one just has a button to hold the battery in. The other one I believe is Velcro, but same deal, little battery pack. So the downside to all this rechargeable stuff we're getting is we literally have to have a charging station at camp. And so there's a lot of wires, and you know, you got to make sure you're charging at night when you get home, and remember to charge, because we've had those times where, oh crap, I forgot to recharge my stuff. The other thing I will tell you about these socks, particularly if you're new, just thinking about getting into hunting, buy the socks first before you buy your pack, before you buy your shoes, because all this rechargeable stuff takes up a little more room. You're going to add weight. So those are kind of the cons. And like today when I was out, I had these on, and when I decided in the middle of the day, or not in the middle of the day, like mid to late morning, I went ahead and took these off. So I double sock. I wear normal socks and then wear this over. That way you can also wear these multiple days and not get too rank. And I say buy the shoes first because these are very thick and your toes will kind of crunch up in your normal size shoe. So
yeah, and that'll make your feet colder as well if they're too tight, regardless of the heating element in there. Yeah. And I have a pair of these as well. They work okay. My feet still get a little cold, but it just makes the cold a little bit more tolerable. I probably need to get a thicker pair of boots. My boots were more designed for an early season. I need to get a late season boot.
Yeah. And so just take your sock with you when you go to buy your shoes. Don't buy your shoes off the internet. I mean, unless that's your thing. I got to touch and feel my stuff, and you're going to thank us later for taking your socks with you to try on shoes. Now, when you're not wearing them, you might float in your shoes a little bit, but it'd be better than your toes being like this all day long, because I've been there. It hurts.
Yeah, for sure. So. All right. Was there anything else?
Nope. Our pile is empty.
All right. Well, hope you enjoyed, guys. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Yep. Have a good one.